John, Democrats and even some leading Republicans had called on their colleagues not to move forward with holding today's public hearing. Now, it wasn't just this barn. We're going to kind of take a look at some of the other property. This smaller pole barn, it's standing right here. Those front doors, well, there used to be front doors. They were ripped off. Protesters have gathered here outside the city-county building. They are lying down right now, staging what they call a die-in, and they are here to speak out in opposition of a new jail. Now, prior to tonight's meeting, protesters were outside. About 30 individuals are out right now searching this river for that missing 4-year-old. They started at about 6:30 this morning, and we have various agencies on scene. Many are from Richland County, but we have the state DNR involved as well. The DNR actually brought in a plane to do an aerial survey this morning. Yeah, Amy, the big story out here is all of the wind damage. Now, driving through Plantville, we could see plenty of down power lines, and Alliant Energy has told us that at least 5,000 residents all throughout Grant County remain without power this evening. They came out and said, listen, if you don't have a chair of your own, you're going to have to leave because we are filled. Now, some of the students, they've been waiting here all day. I talked to Tom. He's in the blue hat over there. I can walk through here, put on these 3D glasses, and actually get a real-life feeling of the scans that were taken. A lot of the side streets, they look like this. They're blocked off because we have down trees, down wires, and utility crews that are hard at work. The secretary would have to move his office from the 10th floor of this building to a small 300-square-foot office in the basement of the Capitol.
It's the Fight for 15.
As part of a national movement, dozens of fast food workers and supporters protested in Madison today.
NBC 15's Zach Nugent shows us what's behind it all.
In a call to more than double the minimum wage, some people walked out on their jobs. They gathered along East Washington Avenue, saying $7.25 an hour just isn't enough. With dozens in tow,
it's time for a change.
A call was made for employers to understand the struggles of living on minimum wage.
You can't raise kids, you can't pay your rent, you can't buy, if something breaks down, you homeless.
It's part of the nationwide Fight for 15 movement. Today, Madison workers spoke out.
And we're standing here today to try to go in, to talk to her, and they locked their doors. Open the doors.
$7.25 is not enough. I have 3 kids, the ages 7, 6, and 3. That's not enough money to raise 3 kids.
I can't take care of my son, you know, and he can't get what he wants. And I'm sick and tired of struggling every day in, day out, because I do not have $1 in my pocket left after I've been working at a fast food job.
State Representative Melissa Sargent joined today's crowd. She believes an increase in the minimum wage would lead to a decrease in the need for assistance programs.
Overwhelmingly, when I talk to people that work these jobs, they want to make best do for themselves and their families. And unfortunately, they end up being dependent on things like SNAP benefits and housing assistance and daycare assistance.
She acknowledges it's something that can't happen overnight, but she wants to start that discussion.
And that's the best economic stimulus package that I can think of for the state of Wisconsin, is empowering our profit creators to turn the economy around.
Not everyone believes in the boost. The Wisconsin-based John K. McIver Institute for Public Policy has come out saying a $15 minimum wage would lead to layoffs and cost 91,000 Wisconsin workers their job. They say teen workers would be the largest group at risk of losing their job.
New at 6, a case of mistaken identity likely has a Janesville dentist wishing the worldwide Cecil the Lion story would just end. As you may know, an American dentist last week was accused of hunting and killing the beloved lion in Zimbabwe. The dentist's name is Walter Palmer, and he's from Minnesota. But now a Janesville dentist has found himself in the middle of the uproar because of his name. NBC 15's Zach Nugent is here to explain.
Yeah, John, Dr. Matthew Palmer has been getting a lot of attention lately, and it's not the kind he's used to.
Do you have any concerns at all, teeth-wise? Anything bugging you?
It's not the job that's been bugging Dr. Matthew Palmer these last few days.
You ever heard of Cecil the Lion?
It's been the incessant phone calls.
From Florida, from Texas, from Alabama, from Illinois.
All mistaking Matt Palmer for Walter Palmer.
Just one state away, you know? Pretty close, but not quite.
Since the Minnesota dentist admitted to killing Cecil the lion, this Wisconsin DDS has gotten his own lion's share of harassment.
Every 15 minutes somebody would call. Sometimes they'd hang up, sometimes they'd leave a message, sometimes I'd answer and they would just yell at me, swear, curse, and then hang up.
His on-call cell phone number has now been changed, and the new one is no longer publicly listed.
People would sign me up for robocalls to get cat facts. So every hour, this robocall, it was an automated message that would give me a fact about cats. Weird.
It's been an inconvenience.
Bizarre is a good word for it.
But this Palmer says, fortunately, it hasn't hurt business.
Locally, I think everybody knows. I mean, this is Janesville. It's not Minnesota. I'm Dr. Matthew Palmer, not Dr. Walter Palmer.
It is something his family has eagerly pounced on, though.
I know my brothers and sisters, I'm sure I'm going to get lion blankets, lion t-shirts, lion stuffed animals for Christmas. It's going to be easy buying things for me for Christmas for quite a few years.
Now, although he's taken all of this in stride, Palmer says there were a few concerning calls of people threatening to come to his office. He says he hopes the harassment just stops and that his story may spur people to think before just sending a hateful message to someone without knowing all the facts.
Follow the Badgers to L.A. You may be following them on social media. NBC 15's Zach Nugent introduces us to the man behind the Badgers' online presence.
All it is less than 140 characters and a simple click of a button on my end.
But Nate Mull has the capability to reach thousands, perhaps millions, all around the world.
Our tweets are a little down, but that'll improve, as we have more games.
He's UW's social media specialist.
I like to refer to myself as the thumbs of UW-Madison.
He has a little help from 2 interns and his department's director, but for the most part, Mull is a one-man show, and he's had a busy month.
We have seen numbers like we've never seen before. Just like all the hype with March Madness and, the success of our basketball team. It's been so much fun to, put stuff out on Twitter and Facebook that fans are interacting with.
He's also interacting with the competition. Since the NCAA tourney, Mull has had a little fun with the University of Oregon and Coastal Carolina. And people are taking notice.
I had an 80-year-old come up to me at church the other day like, oh, I loved your stuff with Coastal Carolina. Like, I'm surprised you even saw it.
In fact, Mull just received a shirt in the mail from his Coastal Carolina counterpart.
He's a fun guy. I think I found a new friend.
He says beneath it all, his ultimate goal is to advance the university's name and keep people talking about the Badgers.
There's no better way to, reach into every household around the state, around the country, around the world of Badger fans and interact with them in a personal and, fun way.